Today's lunchbox for Josiah and Natalie. For those who don't know, Josiah is my teenage son and Natalie is his girlfriend. So today we're making them some turkey and bacon Swiss sandwiches using our Oro Wheat healthy multigrain bread. It is freshly baked with real ingredients with a new and improved recipe, 25% more toppings, and more seeds. It is also heart healthy and most importantly, it has 6 grams of fiber. And some of y'all been eating fiber in your life, so this bread is definitely for you guys. To go along with their sandwiches, they're gonna get mini fruit bowls with dragon fruit, kiwi, strawberries, and passion fruit. For their drink, I made them a cotton candy lemonade. I wrote them a cute note just to let them know how much I love them. For Josiah, when someone says you can't, you turn around and tell them, you watch me. And for Natalie, smile and laugh. Believe me, it's contagious. I love her laugh. Now that everything's ready, we're gonna split the sandwiches in half. Individually, wrap their sandwiches, put them in small little parchment paper bags, add a couple more snacks like a small little bag of chippies, serve fruit with a small little spoon because I didn't have a fork. And that's it, guys. I'm just gonna pack everything up for them, load everything up in my truck, drive to the home of the Rangers so I can drop it off during lunchtime. Bye!
Welcome to another episode of Random Things That My Picky Kid Actually Likes. Today she's getting some celery with cream cheese and everything bagel seasoning. I was eating these for a snack one day and she saw them, was intrigued, and actually tried them. So now she gets excited every time I make them for her, but I'm just happy that she's eating celery. Today I'm using her bento box from Pottery Barn Kids. You guys all seem to love this box, and it's linked on my Like to Know It in my bio. Next, she's getting 2 hard-boiled eggs, but here comes the pickiness. I have to take out the yolk because she doesn't like it. But that I kind of get because I don't really love the texture of the yolk either. Gotta hit it with a little salt for some flavor. And then now just normal stuff that she likes. Grapes, strawberries, cheese stick, and an Oreo for a sweet. She always loves when I leave her notes, so I can't forget to give her one of those, because if I do, I hear about it. Then some juice, and she's all packed up for lunch. Making another lunch for my particular kid, Big Sister edition. This morning she wanted a Funfetti Uncrustable, and it's a good thing I ordered another jar of this on Sunday because this one's almost gone. Yes, it's that good. It's sweet honey peanut butter with cupcake bites, chocolate frosting, sprinkles, and Oreos. Can't really go wrong with any of that. And I swear to you, my kids eat cucumbers like nobody's business. Which is why I usually buy them at Costco because we get like 6 of them at a time. But we're starting up our garden and hopefully we'll have our own cucumbers very soon. It's always fun to walk out to the yard to get your produce instead of buying it at the store. So far, we have a bunch of tomato plants that my husband started from seeds that he just put in the ground this past weekend. And in addition to the cucumbers, we're going to plant some strawberries and carrots. And of course, a little herb garden on our porch too. If you have a garden at home, I'd love to know what you grow. I hope that you all have a particularly good day.
My sister's got an end of year school trip tomorrow to the park, and so she's not going to take a packed lunch. I asked her to bring her lunch in a bag that she can throw away, so we've decided that we're just going to go to Tesco on our way to school tomorrow and get a meal deal and pack her some biscuits as well. This is a lunch that I made a few weeks ago but didn't post. This day she took a toasted kafta sandwich. Kafta is an Arabic style mince with parsley and spices. Can you guys chop your fruits and vegetables freestyle without a chopping board, or do you need one? I've learned to do it without a chopping board. Regular packed lunches tomorrow.
Kai went back to school, so we packed him lunch. The girls had this day off, still as part of their Easter break. I took one of these Easter Haribo candy packets and put it in this middle bit, and then cut some hearts out of some cucumber and included that in that area. Then I had some cherry Jaffa cakes for that side, which she really enjoyed, and a strawberry Nutri-Grain bar. I then filled up some of this love corn into a little pouch. I ended up taking out some of that because it didn't all fit, and fitting that in. For his main, we made these pizza pockets, which he asked for. They're pizza puffs, I guess, out of puff pastry, and then added a little bit of our favorite spaghetti sauce, a little bit of mozzarella torn up, and I cut up some chorizo, or chorizo, however you say, slices into the middle so that he could have a nice little warm pizza pocket. Then baked them in the oven until they were warm after flattening them with a fork so that it didn't open up. One side still did open up a little bit, which was fine. It's fine if it's a little bit messy. You could also egg wash or milk wash the top, but as I was only making one for Kai that day, didn't feel like using a whole egg. In his snack box, I put in a yogurt and then cut up his favorite cheese and used some slices of chorizo to fill in the side. And I just kind of chopped this up and then place it in for him. And he likes how it looks and everything. And I was always really impressed with the folds for some reason. I don't know. I don't really understand him. And that's what it looked like. And I closed that up. His pizza pocket was done, and I left it in the tin foil. I baked it in and put it in. And that's his lunch. He also has a drink. Let's make some lunch for Kai. I gave him one of these like whoopie pies. They're like cookies with, I don't know, chocolate on top. And they're kind of cookie cake with cream in the middle. And then a couple of Haribo. And for his fruit, he wanted strawberries and grapes. So I cut up some strawberries and then added in some grapes in this top bit. And I filled it right up for him. And then he picked out this Mexican-style snack mix. So I added that in, gave him a yogurt. And then did his chorizo and cheese little bites for his snack box and got them put in. He does have quite a cheesy lunch today, just due to what everyone asked for. Everyone has like sort of the same mains, but like different sides. So he had his cheese and chorizo in there. We didn't have any crackers, so that was done. And then I warmed up that little box for him and made some stovetop mac and cheese. So I boiled some noodles and then melted some butter and added some flour to it and let that cook out. And then very slowly started adding cold milk. It'll get chunky before it gets smooth. And that's just kind of the nature of this. You just got to keep adding it little by little. I didn't want to mess it up and make it too wet. Amelia, whose lunch I never show packed actually, hates it when it's too wet. So I very slowly added stuff in and just kept mixing. After a while, it looked creamy like this. At which point I added a lot of black pepper. And then I grated in a bunch of cheddar. You can use whatever cheeses you want. And I tasted as I went. At this point, I turned the heat down quite low to keep adding the milk. So I turned it back up and added some whole grain mustard. The kids really like whole grain mustard in their mac and cheese. And then I'd cooked up some bacon with breakfast and added a few extra slices and chopped them up. And so I added that in so we can make like a bacon mac and cheese. And then at that point, it was pretty much done. So I added in some of the cooked pasta, stirred it around, added in some more. Wanted to make sure that there was a good pasta to cheese ratio for all of them. And then in his warm box, I crammed in as much as I could. It was hard to do while recording, so I stopped recording and I actually crammed in more before I put the top on properly. And then there's his fork and spoon, and he had one of these smoothie boxes as his juice box.
Go and pack my kids' dinner with me. So this is my 7-year-old son and my 9-year-old daughter. They've both decided they won't pack lunches every day apart from a Friday, so let's pack them. So they both have a minion meat sandwich. It's just this that they've got. My daughter has 3 yogurts. My son has 2. My son's got an orange drink in this little thing that comes with the box. My daughter has got one, but we can't find the lid because my toddler's had hold of it and we don't know where it's gone. So she's having this cup. So my daughter has blackcurrant in this bottle. Gonna have to hurry up because my baby's crying. My son has requested 2 of these little Dream Me bars. And my daughter has asked for one of these penguin bars. And my toddler's kicking off now. So there we go. That's what they're having.
This morning, my daughter took the time to write me a list of what she would like for lunch today. I have received so many judgmental comments on the other videos I've made making lunch for my kids. Things like, that's a lazy lunch, that's a dry sandwich, you better give them some money so that they can get food in the cafeteria. How could you cut up a cucumber like that? You are definitely not feeding your child enough. They must be starving. But here's the thing. You don't know my kids. They are so picky. So if I can get some kind of fruit, vegetable, and protein that they like and how they like it into them, then that's a win. They enjoy the lunches that I make for them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. You also don't know the size of my children, so to say something like I'm not feeding them enough or they must be starving is absolutely ludicrous. I bet she won't even finish everything that I give her today. People just need to stop tearing moms down. Unless you see something that is harmful to a child, just keep your mouth shut and your opinions to yourself. We're all just trying to do our best. I see you, mamas. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing a great job.
Today for the kids' lunch, they had the highly requested hot dog octopuses. Robin's a huge fan of these. I just chunk up hot dogs and then take some spaghetti noodles and push them through to make the octopus's legs. Spaghetti noodles will break sometimes when you push them through, but as long as you have them in each half, you're good. And then you want to deposit these into some boiling water like this and let them soften and then push them the rest of the way down so that they have all of their little octopus tendrils. I then cut up some cucumber. I cut up quite a bit for all three of the kids because it's currently their favorite. And I cut them out with one of those little cookie cutters in the shape of a heart. So they were cute. And then I put them in Kai's lunchbox. I gave him plenty today because he's been really eating through them. And then he's been obsessed with this sort of Wensingdale blueberry and cranberry cheese, which he loves, wrapped in chorizo. But I decided to put it on skewers today to kind of mix it up, and because we were at the big bit of the cheese so it wasn't thin anymore. That was a pretty thick slice of cheese, to be honest, so the rest were quite small, and I started putting them in this side of his lunch container and they didn't fit, so I moved them over into the other side and wiped out that side of his snack box. Then I got some of these Cheeto Stars at the shop. They're new, and I put those in one of his compartments. He ended up really liking these. Added sauce to the cooked spaghetti hot dogs and mixed it around. These are some yogurt-covered banana chips that I'm adding in a snack box, along with some dried craisins, or cranberry raisins. And then we had these, like, Oreo milk bars and some grapes into his main lunch. The Oreo milk bars were interesting. Everyone seemed to like them, but I don't. But that's okay. And then added some gummies in and some cute fruit picks of vegetables in his cucumbers so they're a bit easier for him to eat. And added his tinfoil with his spaghetti octopus.
Hey guys, come and make a unicorn theme lunch for my soon-to-be first grader. We're going to start by activating our thermos by adding boiling hot water. We're just going to close it up and put it to the side for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to start with our dividers and cupcake liners. We're going to go in with blue, purple, and of course pink because that's her favorite color. And then we're going to start with some blueberries. These are her favorite fruit. We're just going to pile them in there. And then we're going to go in with some mango, which she also loves. We're going to put this into the purple cupcake liner. And then we're going to go ahead and add some cotton candy grapes. She absolutely loves these. They do taste like cotton candy, so try them if you haven't. And then we're going to go in with some strawberries that I cut into shapes of little stars. And then we're going to go in with some cucumbers shaped as unicorns. And next, we're going to add some strawberry yogurt in our Umi dip container and some ranch for her. And then we're going to add some sprinkles. And then we're going to start adding our napkin, and then we're going to add our quesadilla we shaped as a unicorn today. There we go. And then we're just going to close her on up and add her to the Umi box. There we go. And now we're going to add a little Oreo that I used edible markers on, and then our picks, unicorns and rainbows. Our first unicorn is going to go into the strawberries. Next one into our mangoes and grapes. And next one into our little cucumbers. Next, we're going to add our rainbows. We're going to go ahead and add one to our Oreo cookie. We're just going to slide it in between where the icing is. And then we're going to add one to our mangoes and grapes. And then we're going to go ahead and add her some silverware in her little silverware case. And then we're going to add a juice, her unicorn napkin, and of course a little note. And if you guys have any ideas for her next theme, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Come pack my child's lunch with me. 2 packs of crisps. 5 yogurts. Kit Kat. Time Out. Apple and pear juice drink. 4 cheese slices.
Where are my keys?
2, 3, 4.
I like to put a slice of bread in so that she can do the cheese sandwiches herself. So obviously if I put that there, she does like cucumber, so I put the whole half of the cucumber. Add the butter knife, and she can obviously chop the cucumber herself or chop the sandwich, whatever. And then finish it off with a caramel bar, mini Kit Kat, and a Baby Bell. And that's my child's school lunch for tomorrow.
Let's pack Robin's lunch. Just a reminder, she is 6 years old. She got one of these mini little Haribo candy bags that she actually brought home from school one day. She didn't feel like eating it in school, and her school gave it out to her. So I put that in her lunchbox, and then some strawberries with a little fruit pick of a broccoli, because Robin says her favorite thing is broccoli now. So she likes this fruit pick. And I gave her a bunch of cucumber, gave the rest to her sister. And then we had sort of leftovers lunch. So we had some of this pasta salad. It's a pesto and avocado and tomato and chicken pasta salad, which they liked. And her sister was getting a little meatball sub, which she suddenly said she wanted. So I cut off the crust, and then I'm going to make breadcrumbs out of those. I put them all in a freezer bag and blitz them up when we need breadcrumbs. And I put some of the little meatballs. This was leftover from a thing we had on Saturday. We had little meatball subs. And I gave her a mini one of those, and then squished it down, and I put it all in her little lunchbox with her note on the outside. And then at first I gave her a yogurt and a juice box, but I ended up taking the juice box out after talking to her. And that.
Welcome back to another episode of me making lunch for my particular kid. Today she's taking something from her most recent taste test, which is a wrap with turkey, cheese, and ranch. I'm still so surprised that she liked this, but that's what she requested for lunch today. She's actually taking 2 new things today. In addition to this wrap, I told her about this comment, and she said she was willing to try that. So I'm giving her some baby carrots, and then I'm putting the peanut butter in a separate container just in case she doesn't like the combination together, so that way she can still eat the carrots. Then I peeled a clementine for her, and then she requested a blueberry yogurt because apparently blueberries help with your brain power. Giving her some of these Honolulu cookies. Then, of course, we have to write her note. I told her I was proud of her for trying new foods, and not to worry if she didn't like the peanut butter and carrots. I hope that you all have a particularly good day.